I need to tell you something that will either devastate you or liberate you, depending on how you receive it. Something that will change your entire relationship with your life, your problems, and your future. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your parents, not your partner, not the government, not the economy, not luck, not fate, not the universe. Not some future version of yourself who finally has it all figured out. Nobody is coming to rescue you from your problems, fix your life, or hand you the future you want. You are alone in your rescue. You are the only person who can save you. You are responsible for fixing what's broken, building what you want, and creating the life you desire. Nobody else is coming to do it for you. And here's the part that might surprise you. This is the best news you'll ever receive. Right now, you're probably thinking, that's depressing, that's harsh, that's not motivational at all. Why would nobody coming to save me be good news? But think about what you've been doing. Think about how much of your life you've spent waiting for someone to recognize your potential and give you opportunities. Waiting for circumstances to improve so you can finally pursue your goals. Waiting for someone to fix the problems you're facing. Waiting for someone to validate your worth. Waiting for permission, approval, or rescue. How much of your life have you spent waiting for someone else to save you, and how much has that waiting cost you? Every day you wait for rescue is a day you're not rescuing yourself. Every week you wait for someone to fix your problems is a week you're not fixing them. Every year you wait for circumstances to improve is a year circumstances stay the same while you wait helplessly. You've been acting like you're powerless, like you need someone else to give you what you want, like you're stuck until someone rescues you, and that belief has kept you stuck. Not because you lack ability, but because you've been waiting for someone else to use their ability on your behalf. But here's what changes everything. Once you truly accept that nobody is coming to save you, you stop waiting. You stop being passive. You stop being a victim of circumstances. You become the active agent in your own life. You become your own rescuer. And that shift from waiting for rescue to rescuing yourself is the most empowering transformation you'll ever experience. Think about the problems you're facing right now. The career that's not progressing, the financial situation that's not improving, the relationship that's not fulfilling, the health that's not where you want it, the skills you haven't developed, the goals you haven't pursued. You've probably been waiting for something or someone to fix these things. Waiting for your boss to recognize your value and promote you. Waiting for the economy to improve so you can make more money. Waiting for your partner to change so the relationship improves. Waiting for your motivation to magically appear so you can finally get healthy. Waiting for the perfect circumstances to develop those skills. Waiting for someone to give you permission to pursue those goals. But they're not waiting. Your boss is focused on his own problems. The economy changes on timelines you can't control. Your partner is waiting for you to change. Your motivation isn't coming until you start acting. The perfect circumstances don't exist. Nobody's granting permission. You're waiting for rescue that isn't coming. And while you wait, your life stays stuck. My name doesn't matter, but my waiting does. Because I spent 34 years waiting for rescue. Waiting for someone to recognize my potential, fix my problems, improve my circumstances, and hand me the life I wanted. And all that waiting accomplished was wasting 34 years. Until I realized nobody was coming. Nobody was responsible for my life except me. Nobody was going to rescue me except me. And once I stopped waiting and started rescuing myself, everything changed. Today, I'm going to show you exactly how you're waiting for rescue instead of rescuing yourself. I'm going to reveal why nobody coming to save you is actually the most liberating truth you'll ever learn. I'm going to share what happened when I stopped waiting and became my own rescuer. And most importantly, I'm going to give you the exact framework to stop waiting for rescue and start rescuing yourself. But I need you to be ready for a hard truth. Accepting that nobody is coming to save you means accepting full responsibility for your life. No more blaming, no more waiting, no more victimhood. Just you, your agency, and your responsibility. Are you ready for that responsibility? Are you ready to stop waiting? Are you ready to become your own rescuer? Then let's begin. Because nobody is coming to save you, and that's the best news you'll ever receive. Let me take you to the exact moment I realized I'd been waiting for rescue my entire adult life. I was 34 years old, sitting in my car after another frustrating meeting with my boss. A meeting where I'd hoped he would finally recognize my contributions and promote me. A meeting where I'd waited for him to rescue my career, but he didn't. He gave me positive feedback and generic encouragement, but no promotion, no raise, no rescue. And I left that meeting feeling defeated, frustrated, and stuck. Sitting in my car, I had this thought. How many times have I had this exact same meeting? How many times have I waited for him to rescue my career? How many years have I been waiting? The answer was devastating. 7 years. For 7 years, I had been waiting for my boss to recognize my value and promote me. For 7 years, I had been waiting for him to rescue my career. For 7 years, I had believed that my career progress was his responsibility, not mine. And in those 7 years, nothing had changed because I was waiting for rescue instead of rescuing myself. But it wasn't just my career. As I sat there, I saw all the ways I'd been waiting for rescue across my entire life. I had been waiting for my financial situation to improve, not by taking action to improve it, but by waiting for raises, waiting for better job opportunities to appear, waiting for someone to teach me about money, waiting for circumstances to change. I had been waiting for my relationships to improve, not by having difficult conversations or making changes, but by waiting for my partner to change, waiting for our problems to resolve themselves, waiting for the relationship to magically get better. I had been waiting for my health to improve, not by changing my habits, but by waiting to feel motivated, waiting for the right diet plan to appear, waiting for someone to push me to exercise, waiting for health to happen to me. I had been waiting for my skills to develop, not by dedicating time to learning, but by waiting for training opportunities at work, waiting for someone to teach me, waiting for knowledge to somehow accumulate without effort. I had been waiting for my dreams to become reality, not by pursuing them, but by waiting for perfect circumstances, waiting for permission, waiting for someone to discover my potential, waiting for opportunities to appear. I had spent 34 years waiting for rescue, waiting for someone else to fix my problems, improve my circumstances, and give me the life I wanted. And all that waiting had accomplished exactly nothing except keeping me stuck while time passed. Let me show you the specific ways I had been waiting for rescue, because I guarantee you're waiting in some of the same ways. Rescue Fantasy 1, waiting for recognition rescue. I believed that if I just worked hard and did good work, someone would eventually notice and reward me. My boss would recognize my value and promote me. Opportunities would appear because people would see my potential. My career would advance because someone would rescue it. This fantasy kept me passive. I didn't advocate for myself. I didn't pursue opportunities. I didn't make my value visible. I just worked hard and waited for someone to notice and rescue my career. 7 years later, I was still waiting. Because recognition doesn't rescue you. You have to rescue yourself by making your value visible and pursuing opportunities actively. Rescue Fantasy 2, waiting for circumstance rescue. I believed that once circumstances improved, I'd be able to pursue my goals. Once I had more money saved, I'd start that business. Once I had more free time, I'd develop those skills. Once the economy improved, I'd take career risks. Once the timing was perfect, I'd make changes. This fantasy kept me stuck. I waited for circumstances to rescue me from my current situation, but circumstances don't improve on their own, and perfect timing never arrives. Waiting for circumstance rescue means waiting forever. Rescue Fantasy 3, Waiting for Relationship Rescue. I believed that someone else would fix the problems in my relationships. My partner would eventually change their difficult behaviors. My family would eventually understand me. My friends would eventually become more supportive. The relationship would improve without me having to do the hard work of honest communication and boundary setting. This fantasy kept relationships stuck. I waited for other people to rescue the relationships by changing. But relationships only improve when you actively work on them. Waiting for relationship rescue means accepting dysfunction indefinitely. Rescue Fantasy 4, Waiting for Motivation Rescue. I believed that someday I'd wake up motivated to exercise, eat well, learn skills, pursue goals. That motivation would arrive and rescue me from my procrastination and inaction, that I'd suddenly feel like doing the things I knew I should do. This fantasy kept me inactive. I waited for motivation to rescue me and make difficult things feel easy. But motivation doesn't arrive to rescue you. Action creates motivation, not the other way around. Waiting for motivation rescue means never acting. Rescue Fantasy 5, Waiting for Knowledge Rescue. I believed that someone would teach me what I needed to know. A mentor would appear and guide me. The right course would solve all my problems. Someone would hand me the knowledge I needed to succeed. I just had to wait for the right teacher to rescue me from my ignorance. This fantasy kept me from learning. I waited for knowledge rescue instead of actively seeking knowledge. But teachers don't appear to rescue you. You have to pursue learning actively. Waiting for knowledge rescue means staying ignorant. Rescue Fantasy 6, Waiting for Permission Rescue. I believed that someone would eventually give me permission to pursue my goals. Someone would validate that my ideas were good. Someone would authorize me to take risks. Someone would grant me permission to want what I wanted. I waited for permission rescue. This fantasy kept me small. I didn't pursue goals because I was waiting for someone to give me permission. But permission doesn't get granted. You have to give yourself permission. Waiting for permission rescue means never pursuing your goals. Rescue Fantasy 7, Waiting for Future Self-Rescue. I believed that someday, future me would have it figured out. Future me would be disciplined, motivated, confident, capable. Future me would rescue current me by being better, so I could stay as I was and wait for future me to arrive and fix everything. This fantasy kept me stagnant. I waited for a mythical future version of myself to rescue me, but future you is just current you plus time and choices. If current you doesn't change, future you will be the same. Waiting for future self-rescue means never becoming that better version. These 7 rescue fantasies had controlled my entire adult life. Every area where I was stuck because I was waiting for rescue instead of rescuing myself. I had been treating my life like a problem someone else was responsible for solving. And the worst part? I had convinced myself this waiting was reasonable, that it made sense to wait for my boss to promote me. He was my boss. After all, wasn't career advancement his responsibility? That it made sense to wait for circumstances to improve. You can't control circumstances, right? That it made sense to wait for motivation. You shouldn't force yourself to do things you don't feel like doing, right? I had sophisticated justifications for all my waiting, but they were just justifications for staying helpless, for remaining passive, for refusing to take responsibility for my own rescue. Sitting in that car at 34 years old, I finally saw clearly, nobody was coming to rescue me. Not my boss, not circumstances, not other people, not future me, nobody. And I had 2 choices. keep waiting for rescue that would never come, staying stuck forever, or stop waiting and become my own rescuer. The first option was comfortable, familiar, easy. I could keep blaming others for not rescuing me, keep waiting for circumstances to improve, keep believing that someday someone would fix my problems, and I could stay stuck while feeling like it wasn't my fault. The second option was uncomfortable, scary, hard. I would have to take full responsibility for my own rescue, stop blaming others, stop waiting, start acting. And I would have no one to blame if things didn't work out. But the second option was the only one that would actually change my life. So I made a decision. I was done waiting. Starting immediately, I was going to rescue myself. The day after my realization, I started rescuing myself in the area where I'd been waiting longest, my career. For 7 years, I'd been waiting for my boss to recognize my value and promote me. For 7 years, I'd believed my career progress was his responsibility. But sitting in that car, I realized my career is my responsibility, not his, mine. And if I wanted it to progress, I needed to rescue it myself. So I did something I'd never done. I scheduled a meeting with my boss specifically to advocate for myself. Not to wait for him to notice my value, to make my value visible and explicitly request promotion. This felt terrifying because it meant taking responsibility. If he said no, I couldn't blame him for not noticing. I was making myself and my request fully visible. The outcome would be clear. I prepared meticulously. I documented my contributions. I outlined my value to the team. I researched appropriate compensation. I prepared my case, and I presented it clearly. He listened, and then he said no. Not because I wasn't valuable, but because there wasn't budget for my promotion right now. Maybe next fiscal year. 7 years of waiting, and the answer was no. Here's what the old me would have done. Accepted the no, waited another year, kept believing that eventually he'd rescue my career, stayed stuck. But I had decided to rescue myself. So instead, I said, I understand there's no budget right now. I'd like to discuss a timeline for when this promotion would be possible. And in the meantime, I'm going to start exploring other opportunities where my value might be recognized more quickly. That sentence changed everything. Because I had stopped waiting for him to rescue my career, I had taken responsibility for rescuing it myself. And I had made it clear that if this organization wouldn't promote me, I'd find one that would. 3 weeks later, I had 2 job interviews lined up, both for positions above my current level, both with higher compensation. I wasn't waiting anymore. I was actively rescuing my own career. Within 2 months, I had a job offer, better position, better pay, better opportunity. Not because circumstances improved, not because someone recognized my value, but because I stopped waiting and started rescuing myself. That career rescue taught me the pattern, and I started applying it everywhere. Self-rescue. 2, financial situation. I had been waiting for my financial situation to improve through raises and better job opportunities. But I wasn't actively managing money, investing, or building wealth. I was waiting for money to rescue itself. I stopped waiting. I read 10 books on personal finance. I created a budget. I started investing 15% of my income. I cut unnecessary expenses. I looked for additional income sources. I took responsibility for building wealth instead of waiting for it to appear. Within 1 year, I had built meaningful savings for the first time, not because circumstances improved, but because I rescued my financial situation myself. Self-rescue. 3, relationships. I had been waiting for my relationship problems to resolve themselves or for my partner to change. But relationships don't fix themselves. Someone has to do the work. I stopped waiting. I initiated difficult conversations I'd been avoiding. I expressed my needs clearly instead of hoping my partner would guess them. I set boundaries. I stopped expecting my partner to rescue the relationship and started taking responsibility for my part in it. Some conversations were hard. Some resulted in conflict. But the relationship started improving because I stopped waiting for rescue and started actively working on it. Self-rescue. 4. Health. I had been waiting to feel motivated to exercise and eat well, waiting for some magical day when being healthy would feel easy, waiting for motivation rescue. I stopped waiting. I hired a trainer, not to motivate me, but to teach me proper form and create accountability. I scheduled workouts like appointments. I prepared healthy meals on Sundays. I stopped waiting for motivation and started acting despite lacking motivation. After 3 months, I was in better shape than I'd been in a decade. Not because motivation arrived, but because I rescued my health myself through consistent action. Self-rescue. 5. Skills. I had been waiting for training opportunities at work or for someone to teach me, waiting for knowledge rescue. I stopped waiting. I enrolled in online courses. I spent 3 hours every Saturday learning new skills relevant to my career. I practiced deliberately. I sought feedback. I stopped waiting for someone to teach me and started teaching myself. After 6 months, I had developed skills that made me significantly more valuable professionally, not because someone trained me, but because I rescued my skill development myself. Self-rescue. 6. Dreams. I had been waiting for perfect circumstances, permission, or opportunity to pursue creative writing, waiting for dream rescue. I stopped waiting. I started writing every morning before work, 30 minutes. No permission needed, no perfect circumstances required, just me, a laptop, and commitment. After 1 year, I had completed a book manuscript, not because circumstances became perfect, but because I rescued my dream myself by pursuing it actively. The pattern was clear. In every area where I'd been stuck because I was waiting for rescue. And in every area where I started rescuing myself, I made progress. But self-rescue wasn't just about taking action. It was about a fundamental shift in how I saw myself and my life. Before, I saw myself as someone who needed rescue, someone whose problems were too big for me to solve alone, someone who needed someone else to fix things, improve circumstances, give me opportunities. I was passive, helpless, waiting. After, I saw myself as my own rescuer, someone who could solve my own problems, someone who created my own opportunities, someone who was responsible for my own life. I was active, capable, rescuing. This shift in identity was more powerful than any individual action, because once I saw myself as my own rescuer, every problem became solvable. Not easy, but solvable. Because I wasn't waiting for someone else to solve it. I was taking responsibility for solving it myself. After 2 years of self-rescue, my life was completely different. Different job, better finances, healthier relationships, better health, more skills, published writing, all because I stopped waiting for rescue and started rescuing myself. But the external changes weren't what mattered most. The internal transformation was what changed everything. I was no longer helpless. I was no longer waiting. I was no longer dependent on others to fix my problems or improve my life. I was capable, active, responsible, my own rescuer. And that transformation from waiting for rescue to rescuing myself was the most empowering experience of my life. After transforming from waiting for rescue to rescuing myself, I developed what I call the self-rescue framework. This is the system that helps you identify where you're waiting for rescue and gives you the tools to rescue yourself instead. The framework has 7 components, and each one is essential. Component 1, the rescue audit. You need to identify specifically where you're waiting for rescue instead of rescuing yourself. Most people don't realize how much waiting they're doing. The practice. Complete these prompts multiple times. I'm waiting for this person to rescue this aspect of my life. Example. I'm waiting for my boss to rescue my career by promoting me. Example. I'm waiting for my partner to rescue our relationship by changing. I'm waiting for this circumstance to change before I take this action. Example. I'm waiting for more money saved before I start my business. Example. I'm waiting for more free time before I develop new skills. I'm waiting for this thing to arrive before I can move forward. Example. I'm waiting for motivation before I exercise. Example. I'm waiting for permission before I pursue my creative goals. Write at least 10 examples. These are the places where you're waiting for rescue instead of rescuing yourself. My audit revealed I was waiting for rescue in 14 different areas: career advancement, financial improvement, relationship healing, health transformation, skill development, dream pursuit, confidence building, network expansion, opportunity creation, problem solving, knowledge acquisition, permission granting, circumstance improvement, and motivation arrival. Component 2, the responsibility reclamation. For each area where you're waiting for rescue, you need to reclaim responsibility. This means acknowledging that you, not someone else, are responsible for that area of your life. The practice. For each item from your rescue audit, write a responsibility statement. I have been waiting for this person or thing to rescue this area, but this area is my responsibility, not theirs. I am responsible for rescuing this area myself. Example. I have been waiting for my boss to rescue my career, but my career is my responsibility, not his. I am responsible for advancing my career myself. Example. I have been waiting for motivation to rescue my health, but my health is my responsibility, not motivation's. I am responsible for getting healthy myself. Write these statements, say them out loud, feel the shift from waiting passively to taking responsibility actively. This reclamation is the foundation of self-rescue. Component 3, the self-rescue action identification. For each area where you've reclaimed responsibility, you need to identify one specific action you can take to rescue yourself, not eventually. Now, the practice. For each responsibility statement, write a self-rescue action. To rescue this area myself, I will take this specific action within this time frame. Example, to rescue my career myself, I will schedule a meeting with my boss to advocate for promotion within 1 week. Example, to rescue my health myself, I will hire a trainer and schedule my first workout within 5 days. Example, to rescue my dream myself, I will start writing for 30 minutes tomorrow morning. Make these actions specific, time-bound, and something you can do immediately. Self-rescue requires action, not just intention. Component 4, the blame elimination. When you're rescuing yourself, blaming others becomes impossible. You need to eliminate blame completely. The practice. Identify where you're currently blaming others for problems you're responsible for solving. I blame this person for this problem in my life. Example, I blame my boss for my career not progressing. Example, I blame my partner for our relationship problems. Then, reframe each blame statement as a responsibility statement. This problem exists. I am responsible for solving it. What action will I take? Example, my career isn't progressing. I am responsible for advancing it. I will explore new opportunities and advocate for myself. This elimination of blame is crucial. You can't rescue yourself while blaming others. Self-rescue requires taking full responsibility. Component 5, the rescue evidence tracking. As you take self-rescue actions, you need to track evidence that self-rescue works. This builds confidence and momentum. The practice: keep a self-rescue log. Every time you take a self-rescue action and see a result, document. The problem I was facing, the rescue I was waiting for, the self-rescue action I took instead, the result of my self-rescue. Example: problem, career stagnation, waiting for boss to promote me. Self-rescue action, advocated for promotion and explored other opportunities. Result: got better job offer elsewhere. This tracking proves that self-rescue works. Each entry builds evidence that you are capable of solving your own problems. My self-rescue log has 43 entries. Each one represents a time I stopped waiting and rescued myself. Each one proves I'm capable. Component 6, the dependency reduction. You need to identify dependencies, areas where you've made yourself dependent on others for things you could do yourself, and reduce them. The practice: list your current dependencies. I depend on this person for this thing. Example: I depend on my boss for career opportunities. Example: I depend on my partner for emotional stability. Example: I depend on external motivation for action. Then, for each dependency, identify how you could reduce it. I could reduce this dependency by doing this thing myself. Example: I could reduce career dependency by creating my own opportunities through networking and job searching. Example: I could reduce emotional dependency by developing my own emotional regulation skills through therapy and practice. Start reducing at least one dependency per month. This builds independence and self-reliance. Component 7, the rescuer identity adoption. You need to shift your identity from someone who needs rescue to someone who rescues themselves. This identity shift makes self-rescue natural instead of forced. The practice: write your rescuer identity statement, a declaration of who you are now that you've stopped waiting for rescue. Format: I am my own rescuer. I take responsibility for solving my problems, improving my circumstances, and creating my future. I don't wait for others to rescue me. I rescue myself. I am capable, active, and responsible for my own life. Put this where you'll see it daily. Say it when you're tempted to wait for rescue. This identity statement reinforces that you are your own rescuer. These 7 components create a complete system for identifying where you're waiting for rescue, reclaiming responsibility, taking self-rescue actions, and building the identity of someone who rescues themselves. Now you understand how to stop waiting for rescue and start rescuing yourself. Let me give you the exact action plan to become your own rescuer starting today. Action 1. Complete your rescue audit this week. Write down every area where you're waiting for someone or something to rescue you. Every person you're waiting to fix problems. Every circumstance you're waiting to improve. Everything you're waiting to arrive. Get them all visible. Action 2. Choose your most critical rescue wait. From your audit, identify where waiting for rescue is costing you the most. Where is your passive waiting creating the most stagnation or suffering? This is your priority self-rescue area. Action 3. Write your responsibility statement for that area. Use the format: I have been waiting for this person, thing, to rescue this area, but this area is my responsibility. I am responsible for rescuing this area myself. Say it out loud. Feel the shift from passive to active. Action 4. Identify your first self-rescue action. From your priority area, what's one specific action you can take within 7 days to start rescuing yourself? Not a perfect action, not a complete solution, Just one self-rescue action that moves you from waiting to acting. Action 5. Take that self-rescue action within 7 days. Schedule it. Put it on your calendar. Do it. This breaks the waiting pattern and proves you can rescue yourself. Action 6. Start your self-rescue log. Get a notebook. Title it Self-Rescue Log. After your first self-rescue action, document problem faced, rescue waited for, self-rescue action taken, result achieved. This creates evidence that self-rescue works. Action 7. Identify one blame you're holding. Who are you blaming for a problem you're responsible for solving? Write it down. Then reframe it. This problem exists. I am responsible for solving it. What action will I take? This eliminates blame and focuses on action. Action 8. Reduce one dependency this month. Identify something you depend on others for that you could do yourself. Create a plan to reduce that dependency. Start executing the plan. This builds independence. Action 9. Write your rescuer identity statement. Create your declaration. I am my own rescuer. I take responsibility for my life. I don't wait for others to rescue me. I rescue myself. Put it where you'll see it daily. Read it when you're tempted to wait. Action 10. Tell one person about your shift from waiting to self-rescue. Say, I've been waiting for rescue in this area. I'm done waiting. I'm taking responsibility for rescuing myself. I wanted you to know. Having a witness makes the commitment real. Action 11. Schedule your monthly self-rescue review. Put a recurring reminder in your calendar. Once per month, review. What areas was I waiting for rescue? What self-rescue actions did I take? What results did I achieve? What am I still waiting for? This keeps you actively rescuing instead of sliding back into waiting. Action 12. Practice self-rescue in one small way every day. Don't wait for someone to bring you coffee, get it yourself. Don't wait for someone to fix a minor problem, fix it yourself. Don't wait for someone to make a decision, make it yourself. Small daily self-rescues build the habit. Action 13. When you catch yourself waiting, interrupt with the self-rescue question. Ask, am I waiting for rescue right now? What could I do to rescue myself instead? This question interrupts passive waiting and redirects to active self-rescue. Action 14. Find one example of someone who rescued themselves. Research someone who faced similar challenges and rescued themselves instead of waiting. Study what they did, how they took responsibility, what actions they took. Use their example as proof that self-rescue works. Action 15. Commit to the self-rescue lifestyle. Write this commitment. I commit to rescuing myself instead of waiting for rescue. I commit to taking responsibility for my problems and my future. I commit to being active instead of passive, capable instead of helpless, my own rescuer instead of someone waiting to be rescued. Sign it. Date it. Now, some of you are thinking, but what about things genuinely outside my control? What about systemic problems? What about situations where I really do need help? Isn't self-rescue just ignoring real obstacles and pretending I'm all-powerful? Here's my answer. Self-rescue doesn't mean you're all-powerful or that all problems are entirely within your control. It means you take responsibility for what you can control and act on it instead of waiting passively for things outside your control to change. Yes, there are systemic obstacles. Yes, there are genuine barriers. Yes, there are situations where you need help. But waiting passively for systems to change or help to arrive while doing nothing yourself is still waiting. Self-rescue means you do everything within your power, you seek help actively when needed, and you take responsibility for moving forward despite obstacles. You can acknowledge obstacles while still being your own rescuer. The two aren't contradictory. Let me tell you where I am now, 6 years after I stopped waiting for rescue and started rescuing myself. I'm 40 years old. I have built a career I designed myself. I have financial security I created myself. I have relationships I actively maintain and improve. I have health I take responsibility for. I have skills I deliberately developed. I have pursued dreams I gave myself permission to chase. None of this came from waiting. None of this came from someone rescuing me. All of it came from rescuing myself. 6 years ago, I was waiting for my boss to rescue my career, waiting for circumstances to rescue my finances, waiting for motivation to rescue my health, waiting for someone to rescue my dreams, waiting for someone to fix my problems and hand me the life I wanted. Today, I don't wait. I rescue. I take responsibility. I act. I solve my own problems. I create my own opportunities. I build my own life. And here's what I learned. Nobody coming to rescue you isn't depressing. It's liberating. When you believe someone is coming to rescue you, you're powerless. You're waiting. You're dependent. You're passive. Your life is in someone else's hands. And you stay stuck waiting for them to act. When you accept that nobody is coming to rescue you, you become powerful. You stop waiting. You become independent. You become active. Your life is in your hands, and you unstick yourself by acting. The belief that someone will rescue you keeps you helpless. The acceptance that nobody will rescue you makes you powerful. 6 years ago, I thought nobody's coming to save you was depressing. Today, I know it's the most liberating truth there is, because it means you don't need to wait. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect circumstances. You don't need someone to fix your problems. You have the power to rescue yourself. You always had it. You just needed to use it. Your boss isn't coming to rescue your career, so rescue it yourself. Advocate for yourself. Create opportunities. Make changes. Circumstances aren't coming to rescue your situation, so rescue it yourself. Take action with the circumstances you have. Motivation isn't coming to rescue your goals, so rescue them yourself. Act without motivation. Permission isn't coming to rescue your dreams, so rescue them yourself. Give yourself permission. Someone else isn't coming to rescue your problems, so rescue them yourself. Take responsibility and solve them. Nobody is coming to rescue you. And that's great news, because it means you can stop waiting and start rescuing yourself today. 6 years ago, I was stuck waiting for rescue. Today, I'm free because I rescue myself. Right now, you're at the same choice point I was. You can keep waiting for rescue. Keep believing someone will eventually fix your problems, improve your circumstances, hand you opportunities. Keep staying passive and dependent and stuck. Or you can stop waiting. Accept that nobody is coming to rescue you. Take responsibility for rescuing yourself and become active, capable, and unstuck. The first option feels comfortable. You can keep blaming others for not rescuing you. Keep waiting for circumstances to change. Keep believing it's not your fault you're stuck. The second option feels uncomfortable. You have to take full responsibility. You can't blame anyone else. You have to act. But only the second option actually changes your life. Nobody is coming to save you. Not your boss, not your circumstances, not other people, not future you. Nobody. You are the only person who can save you. You are your own rescuer. You always were. You just needed to accept it. 6 years ago, I stopped waiting and started rescuing. My life transformed completely. Stop waiting. Start rescuing. Nobody is coming to save you. And that's the best news you'll ever receive.